This story about Stephen King being a literary genius is actually kind of depressing. His first published novel, Carrie, was actually thrown in the trash by him. And the reason why is because he had just finished writing it, and he thought it was terrible. He had an idea for a story about a teenage girl with telekinetic powers, who goes to a high school prom and seeks revenge on her bullies. But every time he tried to write it, he just wasn't feeling it. So, he started making changes to the story. So, she did something that any good wife would do. She fished the manuscript out of the garbage can, took it to the bathroom, locked herself in there, and read it. He added more violence, more sex, and he even wrote a couple of really graphic scenes that he knew would get under the skin of his editor. But luckily, his wife Tabitha saved it from the garbage can and made him see the brilliance in it. He picked it up, he started reading it, and he was blown away. It was turned into a movie twice, an opera, a musical, and it's been produced and performed all over the world. He thought, how did I write this? This is amazing. And so he did something drastic. He threw the manuscript in the trash and he told his wife that he was done. Here's the thing, Stephen King was already a published author at this point, but he was struggling with writer's block. And then one day, he just stopped. He felt like he had lost his gift. Like he just wasn't a good writer anymore. She went up to Stephen King, and she told him that he was an idiot, and that he should be ashamed of himself for throwing away such a great story. Then she took the manuscript and she sent it off to the publisher. Now, Tabitha was no dummy. She knew that her husband was a genius, and that this story, even if it was a bit rough around the edges, was brilliant. Now, when she came out, she was a changed woman. Now, this is where things get interesting. The publisher loved it. They thought it was brilliant. They said that Stephen King had outdone himself, and they were so excited to bring Carrie to life. But here's the thing, Stephen King didn't find out about any of this until years later. He had basically moved on with his life. He had written other stories, other novels, and he had pretty much forgotten about Carrie. In fact, he didn't even know that the book had been published until one day he was browsing through a bookstore and he saw it on the shelf. From that day on, Stephen King became a legend in the horror genre, and Carrie became one of his most famous and successful novels. So yeah, Stephen King might have thrown Carrie in the trash, but luckily, his wife saved it from being lost forever.